That crisp, refreshing crunch of lettuce in your salad? It almost never made it. Lettuce is 95% water, and the moment it's harvested, the clock starts ticking. Without the right conditions, it wilts in hours. Yet over 25 million tons are shipped worldwide every year. The challenge? Every delay, every degree of temperature fluctuation risks turning fresh greens into wasted produce. Millions of tons are lost this way. But behind every head of lettuce that arrives crisp and fresh is a hidden system of high-speed harvesting, rapid cooling, and refrigerated transport. So how does it all work? By the end of this video, you'll uncover the cutting-edge logistics that keep your lettuce fresh, even after traveling 5,000 miles. Long before lettuce reaches your plate, its trip begins in the early hours of the morning. Farmers race against the sun, harvesting before temperatures rise because heat accelerates wilting. Workers or automated cutters slice each head at the base, ensuring minimal damage. But cutting the lettuce is just the first step. Within minutes, the real battle begins, cooling it fast enough to lock in freshness. Freshly harvested lettuce carries field heat, which, if not removed immediately, triggers rapid decay. That's where vacuum cooling comes in, one of the most crucial yet unseen steps in lettuce transport. Inside specialized cooling chambers, the air pressure drops, forcing water in the lettuce to evaporate instantly, cooling it from the inside out. In just 30 minutes, a head of lettuce can drop from 80 degrees Celsius to a crisp 34 degrees Celsius. Another method, hydro-cooling, submerges lettuce in chilled water, cooling it rapidly before it's packed. Without these techniques, lettuce would wilt before even leaving the farm. Once cooled, the next challenge is protecting it for transport. Lettuce is fragile. Pressure bruises the leaves, too much moisture causes rot, and exposure to oxygen speeds up decay. To counter this, farms use modified atmosphere packaging, adjusting oxygen and carbon dioxide levels inside the bags to slow respiration and extend shelf life. Some varieties, like romaine, are wrapped in breathable film to prevent excess moisture buildup, while iceberg lettuce is often packed with a layer of crushed ice to maintain its chill during transport. Every detail matters because from this point on, the race to keep lettuce fresh is just beginning. Even after rapid cooling, lettuce is still vulnerable. Without the right packaging, it can lose moisture, turn limp, or develop brown edges before reaching its destination. That's why every head of lettuce is carefully packed using advanced techniques designed to slow its natural deterioration. One of the most effective methods is modified atmosphere packaging, MAP, where oxygen and carbon dioxide levels inside the bag are adjusted to reduce respiration. This slows down the aging process, keeping lettuce crisp for longer. Different lettuce varieties require different packaging strategies. Iceberg lettuce, which has tightly packed leaves, is often packed with a layer of crushed ice inside the box to maintain its chill. Romaine and loose-leaf lettuces, which are more delicate, are typically wrapped in breathable film that prevents excess moisture buildup while still offering protection. Some high-end suppliers even use CO2-infused bags, which delay oxidation and extend shelf life even further. Beyond plastic and ice, the industry is also exploring sustainable alternatives. Some companies are experimenting with edible coatings made from natural plant extracts that create an invisible barrier to slow moisture loss. Others are developing biodegradable packaging to reduce plastic waste while still maintaining freshness. The goal is always the same: to preserve lettuce in its best possible state, ensuring that when it arrives at grocery stores or restaurants, it still looks and tastes as fresh as the moment it was picked. Even with the best packaging, lettuce faces its biggest challenge yet: the journey itself. Across thousands of miles, through fluctuating climates and unpredictable delays, keeping it fresh is a race against time. Lettuce doesn't just need to be packed carefully, it needs to stay cold every step of the way. From the moment it leaves the farm, it enters a highly controlled cold chain, a continuous system of refrigerated transport designed to prevent even the slightest temperature fluctuations. Lettuce is so sensitive that even a few hours at the wrong temperature can turn it limp, brown, or completely unsellable. To prevent this, every truck, shipping container, and storage facility along the way must maintain a precise temperature, typically between 33 degrees and 36 degrees, 0 degrees C to 2 degrees C. For local deliveries, refrigerated trucks equipped with airflow systems circulate cold air evenly, preventing hot spots that could accelerate spoilage. For longer distances, controlled atmosphere (CA) containers take things further. These advanced shipping containers not only maintain cold temperatures but also regulate oxygen and carbon dioxide levels, slowing down respiration and extending shelf life. Some shipments use real-time temperature sensors that alert logistics teams if there's even a minor fluctuation, allowing for quick adjustments before spoilage occurs. While sea freight is the most efficient way to move large quantities of lettuce internationally, some high-end markets, like luxury restaurants or premium grocery stores, opt for air freight to ensure maximum freshness. However, air transport is costly and less sustainable, leading many companies to refine their cold chain strategies for longer shipping routes. Lettuce transport is unforgiving. One broken refrigeration unit, one delayed customs check, or one truck idling too long in the sun can mean an entire shipment is lost. With millions of dollars and tons of food at stake, the margin for error is razor thin. But could smarter farming and transport technology reduce these losses? The future of lettuce logistics is already changing, and the industry is looking towards sustainable solutions that could revolutionize the way we grow and move fresh greens. Transporting lettuce across the world is a high-stakes operation, and even the most advanced logistics can't control the one factor that affects everything: nature. Lettuce is particularly vulnerable to climate extremes, and entire harvests can be lost to unpredictable weather patterns. Heat waves, droughts, sudden frosts, and excessive rainfall can all wreak havoc on lettuce production. When temperatures rise too high, lettuce plants bolt, sending up flower stalks and turning bitter, making them unsellable. On the other hand, a late-season frost can cause the leaves to wilt and darken, ruining their crisp texture. Too much rain leads to oversaturation, making lettuce prone to fungal diseases and rot, while drought conditions weaken the plants, making them more susceptible to pests. Farmers rely on long-range weather forecasts, soil monitoring, and irrigation management to reduce these risks, but climate unpredictability is an ongoing battle. In places like California's Salinas Valley, often called the salad bowl of the world, wildfires have become an increasing threat, covering fields in smoke and ash, which can make lettuce unsafe for consumption. Meanwhile, in parts of Europe and Asia, unexpected droughts have reduced yields, forcing importers to source lettuce from farther distances, increasing transport costs and emissions. These challenges show that growing lettuce is only half the struggle. The real fight begins once it leaves the farm. Once harvested, lettuce enters the next stage of risk: transportation delays and logistical bottlenecks. Unlike hardy crops such as potatoes or grains, lettuce has no protective skin or shell to shield it from damage. Every minute outside the cold chain increases the likelihood of spoilage. If a shipment is delayed at a distribution center, if a refrigerated truck breaks down on the highway, or if customs processing takes too long at an international border, the cold chain can be compromised. Even a 2-hour delay at the wrong temperature can turn an entire truckload of lettuce into waste. One major issue is the bottlenecks at ports and distribution hubs, a problem that became especially visible during the COVID-19 pandemic when global supply chains were thrown into disarray. Containers filled with perishable food sat for days due to staffing shortages, logistical slowdowns, and overwhelmed infrastructure. While the world has largely recovered from those disruptions, similar risks still exist. A strike at a shipping port, an unexpected storm disrupting freight schedules, or even a traffic jam on a major highway can delay lettuce shipments, causing financial losses for farmers and distributors. Even when everything runs smoothly, another challenge remains: quality control rejections. Supermarkets and wholesalers demand perfect produce. If lettuce arrives with slight bruising, minor dehydration, or leaves that have darkened at the edges, entire shipments can be rejected outright. These heads of lettuce might still be perfectly safe to eat, but if they don't meet visual standards, they never make it to the shelves. Some rejected produce is rerouted to food banks or processing plants, but much of it is discarded, contributing to the industry's staggering food waste problem. Across the lettuce supply chain, nearly 30% of all harvested lettuce is lost before it even reaches consumers. Some of this waste happens before transport even begins. Farms sometimes leave perfectly edible lettuce in the fields because market prices drop too low to justify harvesting. Other times, logistical failures, packaging damage, or temperature fluctuations in transit render shipments unsellable, and once lettuce does reach retailers, it still faces the risk of overstocking and expiration. Supermarkets overorder to keep shelves full, but if demand dips, unsold lettuce is often discarded. Restaurants and consumers contribute to waste too. Lettuce is frequently tossed before it's fully used simply because it wilts faster than other vegetables. The environmental cost of this waste is staggering. Lettuce production requires enormous amounts of water, land, and labor, and when a head of lettuce is thrown away, all those resources are wasted along with it. Unlike some food waste that can be repurposed into animal feed or biofuel, spoiled lettuce has few alternative uses. It's too delicate to process into new food products, and its high water content makes it decompose quickly, often ending up in landfills where it contributes to methane emissions. To combat these losses, the industry is turning to technology-driven solutions. One major innovation is real-time supply chain monitoring using IoT, Internet of Things, sensors. These tiny devices track temperature, humidity, and location throughout the entire transport process, allowing logistics teams to identify risks before they become catastrophic. If a truck's refrigeration unit fails or a container is exposed to excess heat at a loading dock, alerts are sent instantly so that action can be taken before the lettuce spoils. Another promising development is blockchain tracking, which allows every step of the lettuce's journey to be logged in a secure digital ledger. This helps prevent fraud, reduces unnecessary waste due to miscommunications, and ensures that food safety issues can be traced back to their source. Some companies are even experimenting with AI-powered predictive logistics, which use historical data and real-time conditions to optimize transport routes, reducing delays and preventing temperature breaches. Beyond logistics, sustainable farming practices are also being explored to make lettuce transport more resilient. Climate-controlled greenhouses and hydroponic farms are allowing lettuce to be grown closer to urban centers, reducing the need for long-distance transport altogether. Some companies are investing in closed-loop farming systems where water is reused efficiently and nutrients are cycled back into the system to minimize waste. These methods don't just reduce environmental impact, they also create a more stable supply of lettuce that isn't as vulnerable to climate disruptions. Still, the reality remains that lettuce will always be a high-risk crop to transport. It's delicate, temperature-sensitive, and has a short shelf life, making its journey from farm to table one of the most challenging in global food logistics. But the industry is evolving, and new innovations are reshaping the way we think about fresh produce transport. So what does the future hold? Could technology eliminate lettuce waste? Could new farming methods make long-haul transport obsolete? The next phase of lettuce logistics is already unfolding, and it's bringing some of the most exciting advancements in food supply chains yet. Picture a future where lettuce doesn't need to travel thousands of miles. Skyscraper farms in city centers grow fresh greens year-round, while AI-driven cold chains predict and prevent spoilage before it happens. The next revolution in food transport is already underway. One major change is hyperlocal and controlled environment farming. Vertical farms and hydroponic systems allow lettuce to be grown in urban centers, eliminating the need for long-haul transport. Using LED lighting and climate-controlled greenhouses, these farms produce fresh greens year-round while cutting water use by 90%. By growing closer to consumers, they reduce transportation emissions and prevent spoilage in transit. For large-scale lettuce production, the industry is adopting next-generation cold chain technology. Solar-powered refrigerated trucks and liquid nitrogen cooling systems are reducing reliance on diesel-powered refrigeration, lowering emissions while keeping lettuce fresh over long distances. Meanwhile, smart packaging with embedded freshness sensors helps retailers track produce conditions in real time, reducing unnecessary waste. Scientists are also developing biodegradable and edible coatings that slow moisture loss, preserving lettuce without plastic packaging. Artificial intelligence is making logistics smarter and more precise. AI-powered models analyze weather patterns, traffic, and supply chain data to optimize transport routes and prevent delays. Blockchain tracking is increasing transparency, allowing suppliers to trace lettuce shipments instantly. This improves food safety. If contamination occurs, only the affected batches are recalled, reducing unnecessary waste. Policy changes and shifting consumer preferences are also pushing the industry forward. Governments are tightening food waste and carbon emission regulations, while retailers are sourcing more regionally to shorten supply chains. Though challenges remain, such as the high energy costs of vertical farms and the need for infrastructure upgrades, the industry is moving toward a future where lettuce travels fewer miles, wastes less energy, and reaches consumers fresher than ever. From precision harvesting before sunrise to high-tech refrigeration and AI-powered logistics, the journey of lettuce is a remarkable feat of modern supply chains. Every head of lettuce you see at the grocery store has been carefully handled, rapidly cooled, and transported under strict conditions to keep it fresh. Yet challenges remain. Weather disruptions, transport delays, and food waste continue to threaten global lettuce supply. But with innovations like urban vertical farms, smart cold chains, and biodegradable packaging, the industry is moving toward a future where lettuce travels faster, fresher, and with less environmental impact. Next time you enjoy a crisp salad, take a moment to consider the effort behind it. Lettuce isn't just a simple leafy green, it's a symbol of precision, logistics, and human ingenuity working together to bring fresh food across continents. And as technology advances, the way we grow and transport lettuce may change completely, making the journey even smarter, greener, and more efficient. Every meal has a hidden journey, shaped by science, logistics, and human ingenuity. If you want to uncover more of these unseen stories, how tropical fruit survives long ocean voyages, or how livestock are moved across continents, subscribe for more. There's a whole world of food transport waiting to be explored.